Now the substitute. Lisa had been substitute teaching for 3 years, but Millbrook Elementary was her first long-term assignment. The regular teacher, Mrs. Henderson, had taken sudden medical leave, and they needed someone to finish the semester with her 4th grade class. "Lovely kids," Principal Martinez assured her during the brief orientation. "Mrs. Henderson has been here for 22 years. The students adore her. Just try to keep things as normal as possible while she's recovering." The classroom felt frozen in time. Decades of crayon drawings covered the walls, and Mrs. Henderson's personal touches were everywhere. Family photos, motivational posters, a rocking chair in the reading corner that looked older than the school itself. On her first day, Lisa noticed something odd. In the back corner sat an empty desk with no nameplate, no supplies. When she asked the class about it, 23 pairs of eyes stared at her in silence. "That's Tommy's desk," finally said Emma, a quiet girl with pigtails. "But Tommy doesn't come to school anymore." Lisa checked her roster. No Tommy listed. She made a mental note to ask the office about it later. During recess, Lisa was organizing papers when she heard a child's voice from the hallway. "Mrs. Henderson? Mrs. Henderson, are you back?" She stepped outside, but the corridor was empty. When the kids returned from recess, she asked if anyone had been looking for the regular teacher. "That was probably Tommy," said Marcus, a boy with thick glasses. "He's always looking for Mrs. Henderson." "Where is Tommy now?" Lisa asked. The children exchanged glances. "Around," Emma said quietly. That afternoon, Lisa went to the main office. "There's an empty desk in my classroom," she told the secretary. "The kids mention a student named Tommy, but he's not on my roster." Mrs. Patterson, the secretary, grew pale. "What did they tell you about Tommy? Just that he doesn't come to school anymore. Should I remove the desk?" "No," Mrs. Patterson said quickly. "Don't touch Tommy's desk. Mrs. Henderson was very specific about that before she left." Over the next few days, Lisa began to notice more strange occurrences. Crayons would appear on Tommy's desk, even though she'd seen it empty moments before. During story time, the children would automatically leave space in their circle, as if someone invisible was sitting there. During lunch, she overheard 2 students talking. "Tommy was crying again during math," whispered Sarah. "He's scared Mrs. Henderson isn't coming back," replied Jake. Lisa approached them. "Where exactly do you see Tommy?" They pointed to the empty desk. "Right there. He sits there every day." "What does he look like?" "He has brown hair and wears a red sweater," Sarah said, matter-of-factly. "Sometimes he's sad, but he likes it when we save him cookies from lunch." That evening, Lisa stayed late to research. In the school's archived yearbooks, she found what she was looking for. Tommy Brennan, 4th grade, 1987. Brown hair, wearing a red sweater in his school photo. She dug deeper into old newspaper archives. The headline made her blood run cold. "Local boy 9 dies in school bus accident." Tommy Brennan had been killed when his bus slid off an icy road during a snowstorm 35 years ago. He'd been Mrs. Henderson's student in her very first year of teaching. The next morning, Lisa arrived early. As she unlocked her classroom door, she could swear she heard a small voice whisper, "Good morning, Mrs. Henderson." She turned on the lights, and there on Tommy's desk was a drawing, a crayon picture of a woman with gray hair standing next to a small boy. At the bottom, in a child's handwriting, "Me and Mrs. Henderson." During class, she watched the children more carefully. They would turn to the empty desk during discussions, waiting patiently as if listening to responses only they could hear. They shared their snacks, leaving cookies on the desk's edge. During group work, they automatically formed groups of 4, leaving room for their invisible classmate. "He's been here since Mrs. Henderson started teaching," Emma explained when Lisa finally asked directly. "She told us Tommy needed to stay and finish learning. He gets scared when teachers leave." Lisa realized that Mrs. Henderson had been caring for Tommy's spirit for over 3 decades, helping him feel included. But something had changed recently. Tommy was becoming more anxious, more visible to the children. "He doesn't understand why she left," Marcus said sadly. "He thinks she's not coming back, like what happened before." Tommy was reliving the trauma of abandonment, triggered by Mrs. Henderson's sudden absence. That night, Lisa called Mrs. Henderson's home. A weak voice answered. "Mrs. Henderson, this is Lisa, your substitute. I need to ask you about Tommy." A long pause. "You can see him too?" "The children can. They're worried about him. He thinks you're not coming back." Mrs. Henderson sighed. "I've been caring for Tommy since my first year. He died so young, so scared. He attached himself to my classroom, to me. I couldn't bear to let him feel abandoned again." "What happened? Why did you leave so suddenly?" "Heart attack. I'm not sure I'll be back this year. I've been so worried about Tommy. He doesn't understand illness, only leaving." Lisa made a decision. "What if I brought the class to visit you? Maybe if he could see you're okay?" The next afternoon, Lisa arranged a field trip to visit Mrs. Henderson. The children made get-well cards, and they saved an extra cookie for Tommy. At Mrs. Henderson's house, something remarkable happened. As the children gathered around their beloved teacher's bedside, the temperature in the room dropped noticeably. Mrs. Henderson smiled through her tears. "Hello, Tommy," she said to the empty space beside her bed. "I've missed you too, sweetheart." The children watched as Mrs. Henderson reached out as if patting someone's head. "I didn't want to leave you, Tommy. I got sick, but Miss Lisa is taking good care of everyone, isn't she?" Lisa felt a chill brush past her, like a small hand touching her arm. "Tommy wants to know if you'll stay," Emma said, looking at Lisa. "He likes you, but he's scared you'll leave too." Lisa looked at Mrs. Henderson, who nodded encouragingly. "I'll stay as long as Tommy needs me to," Lisa promised. The room grew warmer. The children seemed to relax, and several of them smiled as if watching something wonderful. When Lisa returned to school the next day, Tommy's desk had a new drawing on it, a crayon picture of 3 figures, Mrs. Henderson, Lisa, and a small boy with brown hair. At the bottom, "My teachers." Lisa kept Mrs. Henderson's classroom exactly as it was, honoring both the living teacher's legacy and the spirit who had found peace there. She learned to save an extra cookie each day, to leave space in the reading circle, and to say good morning to the empty desk that was never really empty. Tommy never appeared to her directly, but she felt his presence, a gentle reminder that some students need more than just academic instruction. They need someone who won't give up on them, even when conventional wisdom says it's time to let go. Lisa realized that Tommy wasn't haunting the classroom. He was learning, growing, finding the childhood that death had stolen from him. Some students need extra time to finish their lessons, and sometimes the most important thing a teacher can do is simply refuse to leave a child behind, no matter what form that child takes.